Okay. Oh, my eye hurts. Whew. Okay. Tree farm. Tree farm. Tree farm. Tree farm. I need to look the part though. Come here. Give me your wool. Thank you. Okay. Alright, let's get rid of this armor. Because, yeah, this outfit just won't quite do. Especially not while doing tree farming. I think it's time to head back to Lumberjack. A little bit of red and a little bit of black. Phew. There we go. Oh, feels much better. Feels like I'm back to my old self. Nice. I figured doing a tree farm episode was as good a time as any to come back to my lumberjack. And although we don't have the chops at the moment, they might eventually grow back in. For now though, yeah, feeling good. It's time to build a tree farm. So, welcome back, folks. We can put our armor back on and barely tell the difference, although you can see it in the sleeves. That smoke doesn't help. But in today's episode, we're going to come up this direction and we're going to do a tree farm. Yeah, finally. So, we're going to have to sleep in a second, but I have some ideas of how I want to do this. Let's just put away some of the stuff we don't need anymore. And let's mark this out with the mud. Sleep. Come on, sleep. So, for this farm, I want to set up an area for all of the main trees that you can get in the overworld. Not necessarily the nether ones just yet. I don't have any plans for using nether wood, and we can probably get rid of some of the biome for what we need before really thinking about a tree farm for those. But here, I want to do all of the overworld ones, including mangrove now. And we're going to do that in a fairly decent sized area here. Now, the reason I grabbed this mud is because I want to use it to represent the size of the farm, but on smaller scale, so we can go over what I want to achieve first and foremost. So, if we imagine each one of these as a 3x3 section of land, so that represents that. That way I can show you in a smaller scale and practice my layout first before we get into anything a little bit more serious. Horsey. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up 3x3 bays so that we can do both a central piece of single block, I suppose you would call them, trees, much like those, and the oak and everything like that. Or we can do a big slab of 3 by, I'm going to say 9. That way we have 27 available slots. Once again, remember this represents 3x3. And then with the bigger trees, like say for example, my double width dark oak and the large spruce trees, if we have 2 side by side, that's 6, and we can still do a central strip with 2 blocks on either side and the 2 central ones taken up. So we do something like this, for example, and we start to have little bays set up for the different types of trees. So say we had that one there for the spruce, this one here for jungle, and one more down here for our dark oak. Or, instead, we go like this and like this. That way we have spruce, jungle, and dark oak, birch, normal oak, maybe we have acacia across here, and perhaps standard jungle. It's a difficult one. Maybe a full width for the normal oak, and then this can be acacia and birch over this side. So acacia, spruce, birch, jungle, dark oak, and standard oak. And then at the very end, one way or another, this is just a very basic layout of how I will do it. We might make a little bit more space actually on this one. And then at the very end here, we have a nice big section for working with our mangrove. Because the roots on the mangrove stick out a fair bit more, I think giving ourselves a decent amount of space to just spread them out or bunch them together and all of that jazz will be good. So let's get a bit of a bird's eye view of this. Imagine that, but 3 times larger. It'll probably fill up the area from way down over there, sort of in line with our building, to kind of up, digging itself into the side of this hill here. It'll be a nice big open area for growing all the trees, and I think it'll be really good. So with that, we can keep that there for the time being. I'm just going to put that away. We might prepare ourselves a little bit more of a axe situation and shovel situation. This one here is already perfect for me, but I think putting some mending on that one and maybe trying to get that up to efficiency 5 with silk touch and mending as well would be a good idea. And so I have been collecting a little bit of experience from down at my skeleton spawner. As you can see, I'm at 47 because I want the bones for some bone meal, and we might do a little bit of trading with these folks in here. So let me get a couple more levels of experience. We'll head over to our enchantment encampment, do a little bit of enchanting, and then we can come back and dig ourselves in to a nice sized tree farm. Yeah. Okay. Do I have any wood left over here? Nothing that is full. Okay. Let's just grow a tree real quick. Hopefully 4 bone meal is enough. Yeah. So I know that I'm still at the exact same level, but that's because I actually added mending to both of these and then mended them up with the experience that I gained from doing all that trading. So we sort of ended up at a bit of a flat, unchanged area, but now I have mending on them. So that's good. And what I want to do here, oh, did I just put that wood away? What I want to do here is make myself up another one of those, and maybe a silk touch hoe if we could get it. We might try and get looting. I may as well use my diamonds up and see whether we can get something pretty decent. So I might even make a secondary gear set like this. Okay, still got 15 diamonds left. Lovely. And let's see what we can get. Starting off with the axes. Okay, looks like efficiency on all the tools. I also want to get another level of protection for the boots there. Other than that, they are perfect. So just one more level of protection would be lovely. What do we get on a book? Meh. All right. Well, if that's the case, let's just try our luck with an efficiency. Sure. That could be an upgrade for that. We'll see how we go. Nothing looking really decent with this, so I'm just going to... Okay. Try our luck with that. That will potentially be, eventually, a backup pickaxe. Nice. No luck with the silk touch just yet, though. Prot 4. Okay. There we go. It's all we needed, and we got it. We might try for a new helmet. Okay, it's a slight upgrade from this one, and we haven't got the respiration or aqua affinity, but we can work towards that. Still not seeing a silk touch. We might try again on this axe. Yes, perfect. Okay, with the last roll, let's go for another one of these. That's not too bad, and nah. Okay, the rest can stay here for our next venture into enchanting. And yeah, all the lapis too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the diamond boots and get myself protection 4, and we can just add mending to that, and that's going to be perfect. We'll keep that helmet just untouched for the time being, and I think we might combine the axe. 22, 18. Sure. Not too bad. It's night time, but let's head home. You are meant to be going that way, thank you very much. And you can pick up all of that stuff, please. I was wondering why I wasn't getting any more of my melons and pumpkins. And I noticed this thing was flying back the opposite direction, so it didn't actually stop. So, now, it should have a fair bit of unloading to do. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to give it a little bit of a hand. And on your way. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Do the thing. There we go. Finally. So, we can put away a bit of our emerald that we've been trading, and I now have enough levels built up to fix my pants and boots. So you can have mending, and you can have mending. Nice. Very nice. So now we have all of this set up perfectly. Silk touch and everything is nice. And I think I'm ready to go for a bit of building. So I'm excited to see what I can come up with. I haven't really planned it out other than what you just saw. There's a little bit of an image in my head, but I'm just going to freestyle it like usual. So with that, let's jump into a time lapse and make ourselves a tree farm. Yeah. All right. So, with that, that is ridiculous. We have ourselves a bit of a tree farm set up. That is a really, really tall, really, really flat mangrove tree for some reason. But as you can see, I've put down the trees, or most of them, in the areas that they go. I did have to remove the little top section here so that these would grow properly. And we might just go like this. And we'll put one in the middle here. There we go. Now, hopefully, that shouldn't convert any of this stuff back here. It doesn't look like it. And let's pop up into the air to have a bit of a better look. So it's a little bit messy, and that's okay. There's going to be a bunch of trees at random heights all the time, but it's kind of closed the area in, which is nice. I ended up adding a little bit of water going through because I ran into a bit of builder's block doing this. As I was building it, I really didn't like the feel of it just being this big slab sitting there by itself. But as I started to add decoration around the outside, the little rocks and bits and pieces, it actually turned out okay. And I think I'm going to continue with this sort of aesthetic, this mossy rocks dotted around the outside, little pathways going everywhere. Down here we have a storage area for the different types of wood, so as we mine them we can fill those up, and I also have barrels on each location that I'm using to store the saplings that we use for them. Nice. We've got a little bit of a bridge to take us across, and this area here actually goes all the way down to the giant lake that we have at the back. So I figured that naturally water would flow into this sinkhole here. Seemed like a good place to direct it. So down here, what I think I'm going to do is add a villager breeder underneath it, since it's fairly close and it's also fairly close and tucked away. I think that makes sense. But we can put that down there and then bring them out for whatever we need. And then up here is going to be where we can put our blacksmith, I think. So if we use this bird's eye view, where I'm standing right now is sort of where I'm thinking the blacksmith will go, around this area here. Then up on the hill behind, you can see that little ring of dirt. That's going to be where I think I might put a windmill and then maybe a library somewhere over this direction. I haven't thought about it too much, but I do know that I want to make a library and a blacksmith. So that seems like a good plan for the time being. Hi. You're very far away. How about day? So I think what I maybe want to do with, we'll use andesite, is actually mark out those things. This is stuff that I was thinking about as I was building away what I want to do in the future. I like the idea of a pathway going up here beside this little bit of water coming out and leading to our windmill, which will be in line with the back of this a little bit. So what I might do is quickly move that or remove it. And let's mark down with this. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Yeah, that seems a decent size for the base of a windmill. Then down here, in fact, I might even use my shovel. We'll just get a general idea of the direction that the pathway is going to go. Beat up with that, and it might come around the side of here and down this direction. All right, let's mark this out just very basically. We're going to just do it as a big square of sorts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 10. All right. That's just a very basic overview of where that's going to go. Yeah, that's starting to look pretty cool. So if we pull back, oh yes, that's starting to look so good. Just filling in the area there. So we're going to have some stuff over this side as well. Sugarcane farm and such over there, and possibly a bee farm. Then on this side, we're starting to get some more buildings. We're going to have a blacksmith, library, and we're going to have to come up with some other ideas, maybe even just some general townsfolk areas. But we could use some different villages and make some houses for them. Then this area here will become maybe a animal farming area. I think could be a cool idea, with some pens on either side with the road going through up to our main future mega base. Yeah. And that way this whole area will just tie together really nicely. Ooh, clouds, excuse me. Nice. Getting a bird's eye view like that is so amazing. It's something that might feel a little bit cheaty to some, but when you're making content and trying to plan overall, this is so convenient. So what do we think? Blacksmith there. What else do you guys think we should add? I definitely think a library tucked away on this edge here would be nice. Just down from the windmill. So how about we do this. And it can kind of be up on the hill, so we have a little bit of a drop down in front of it. I think that would look really nice. Something like that. Yeah, I don't have enough. I barely have enough, but we're going to use the last of the andesite because I've made this decision and I will live with it. Oh, that does look good though. What do you guys think? Oh, hello, my friend. Yeah, that's really nice. That's sort of the level of detail that I would like to eventually get this whole area looking like, so that we're walking through like that and we have mossy and rocky walls everywhere and get the grass built up properly so that it looks nice. I really need to make like a fern farm because I love the look of the ferns, like those ones just there. So we've got a little bit to do. But yeah, this is where we're going to be just chilling. I might just tune out and gather resources some days, trying to fill up these barrels or these chests so that I have a good supply of any of the woods that I require. Some of them are going to be a lot easier to farm than others, but it'll be really nice. What do you reckon, buddy? Nice and green over here. And then I like the idea of filling in, filling in the blank spots in between everything with little gardens, little areas like this. Like a fountain or something would be really cool there. Yeah. Oh, that looks painful. Right in the cheek. All right. So let's take one more look up in the air with that. Yeah. Maybe a slight tower or something out the back here that just sits a little bit higher would look really nice. If you can kind of get my vision there, a slightly taller peak above the rest of the build. Nice. There we go. A bit of a representation of what there is. I nearly jumped down into that hole. Now what I might do is actually mine up those trees and show you folks what it looks like without the trees in there, just so you can see it blank. But yeah, I really like this. Alright, so we can just put those away, and now you can see what I mean about it being a little bit of a slab. And when I only had just this sort of pathway and these little bits here, it did feel a little bit lackluster. But I am feeling a little bit better with it, blended into the landscape a little with these pathways and these rocks around. It does feel a little bit nicer to me. Not too bad. Just kind of a nice little area that I know that I can keep all of my wood together over in this storage room and dedicate a spot to a particular resource gathering. Nice. So I've grabbed some stone, and what I'm going to do is actually mark out where I want to put this sugarcane farm as well. Because once I placed down those few outlines, I really realized how nice it is to have them there. So what we're going to do is actually line this up with the center of this. Okay. And let's just do, oh, buddy, thank you. Something like that for width should be fine. And we'll just bring that back across. There we go. Next we'll pop up here and probably do a little one for our bee farm, like so. That seems good. Let's get a bird's eye view of this one as well. Two little buildings there seems nice. And starts to look really cool having those squares set up like that. Nice. So maybe what we will do is actually connect up the areas and start to plan out some more pathways to sort of finish this episode up with a bit of a bird's eye view like this that has a little bit more, oh, I'm going to fall out, a little bit more information or a little bit more of an idea of what we're going to have placed around the world. Now, that is sort of a hole that leads to nowhere, so we may end up filling that in, we'll see. But we probably want to come up around here to get across to our bee farm and to our sugarcane farm. Okay, that's a decent start. Over here, I think I'm going to run a pathway down on this sort of flat, cross like this. Don't need that there. And that's going to meet up down this direction with this path. So this path here is going to be the main one that goes across the water's edge, like so. And we should probably sleep. I'll just widen this out on my way back so that it looks a little bit more marked out when we go up to a proper height. And again, we'll do the same thing with this. Now, we're eventually aiming for somewhere up that direction. And like I said before, I want the path to go through the middle of there. So if we're aiming for about there, Yeah, we'll aim for that little corner there, I think will be good. We might want to add a little bit more curve to that too, but we'll see how we feel. This feels really nice as a way to sort of give myself some plans, and having these paths set out is going to really feel like I have the space a little bit more organized for the future, for what I want to build. Okay. Oh yeah, that's really starting to give me a much better idea of the scale and the shape of the area. I probably will end up changing how I have these paths down here. They do look a little bit straight, so maybe we'll curve this one a little bit more up top and do something with this one down here too, but not too bad. We can see the pathway going over there. Obviously, eventually they'll end up with a similar level of detail to what we have down here. In fact, potentially even more. And now we might bring one across to the library. Also, let's just curve this a little from here. The blacksmith should also have a little bit more of a path in front of it. I said blacksmith and I went all the way up to where the windmill will go, but we'll come across here. Probably make it feel quite straight in front of there. I suppose I'm just trying to feel like the natural walkways that we would take between areas. I don't know whether you've ever seen those images of where they've, say, paved footpaths in a university or something, but then the grass has been worn down in the actual directions that people walk, and you sort of find that natural flow between everything. I feel like this is sort of where I've been moving through places. Like I'll come down this side here. It's not exactly perfect, but I'm keeping that a little bit in mind. Like say if I wanted to go to the windmill, I'd go up probably alongside this, and I wouldn't come across here and meet up where the road comes across to the library to then go this way. I would just cut straight down from the edge of the blacksmith across there. So yeah, does that make sense? Some people will understand what I'm saying with that. So probably going to need to do a little bit of landscaping to make this one a little bit more accessible, but just to get the idea. That, and across here like this. Nice. That feels good. Yeah, that feels really good. The central area is a little bit more tucked together, a little bit more dense with roads, because over here we're going to be doing a lot more walking around the buildings themselves. And then as there's these cliff edges, well, not really quite cliffs, but hill edges, there wouldn't be paths down there. And we could even do some terraforming over here to make this feel a lot more like a drop down, so that maybe there's a nice natural cliff edge around this way that is separating the area down here and keeping a sort of natural wall to hold animals in. Yeah, that feels really good. I just want to have one more look up at this height here. It's starting to feel like much larger of an area. I really like that. Nice. I think we'll also continue with some of the crops and such around this area, bringing them up and making little sections of them, just because it adds a lot of color and flavor to the texture of the surrounding area. Plus, we're going to obviously bring it up with some details like this. Really nice. Ooh, I'm starting to get excited. I really like how this area is coming together. Now, what would we have up over there as well? Decisions. There may even just be some builds that are there for the sake of it, but I also like the idea of them being purposefully built. So the blacksmith will have a couple of blacksmiths and toolsmiths and such. The library will have some librarians, of course. Maybe we set up a stonemasons area as well to get some quartz and other bits and pieces. We'll see. Ooh, like a potion area for the clerics. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear some ideas for different buildings that you think would go well in this area. Definitely turning into my own personal village where the old village used to be. Upgrading things a little bit. Do you like the dotted rocks around? Do you like the aesthetic that I'm going for, where trying to tie the area into the surround a little bit? I'm hoping that eventually the whole area will feel really, really dense and nice like this stuff down here and look quite impressive from this angle. Yeah. Cool. Very nice indeed. Hey, buddy. What do you reckon? Nice. So I think with that, we're probably going to finish up the episode here. I know it's been a very long time between episodes. I will quickly address that and say I'm so sorry. Had a little bit of burnout, had a little bit of stuff going on, and I just needed a break. I needed a bit of time in between. And I'm excited now to get back into it, and I'm also excited, so excited for the 1.18 Vault Hunters as well. So I think in the next episode we will work on the sugarcane farm and maybe the bee farm together. I think that could be fun. These bees have been floating around for a while now, and I think it's time we put them to use, get some candles going, all that fun stuff. But with that, I think as the night falls, we're going to sign off. So, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you folks enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you've been enjoying the series and you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? We've got plenty more of fun stuff to come, as you can see from the planning out we've done this episode. And I would like to thank my Patreon supporters for your continued support. You folks are amazing, and I really do appreciate it so much. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to hit the hay, and I hope you all take care of yourself until the next episode. So until then, I'll see you later, and bye-bye. Nice. Very nice indeed. What do you reckon, buddy? Hey, you. Oi. No, thank you. Bye-bye, folks. Buddy, leave him alone. Get away from his toes. Oh dear. Don't walk away from me.